All right, so the number 2 player on the ESPN Top 50 big board is Ohio State linebacker Arvell Reese. Will, I know you really, really like this guy, so why don't you start us off here?
Yeah, I do really like this guy. I actually just peel the curtain back. I actually did not put him as my number one. I had him as my number one, and I actually moved him off. He's got size 6'4", 243. He's incredibly tall for a linebacker. He's got great size. He's got everything you want in a linebacker. He's good all around. Ability to play on the line of scrimmage, off the ball, middle line of the line of scrimmage, standing up. He has played everywhere. Ohio State played him in every position. Between him and Caleb Downs, those two were pretty much your free player to play wherever you want to. They put all of them, or both of them, at every position that they have respectively. He's patient. He's good at keeping his eyes in the backfield, adjusts the ball as the play is developing, and explosive and reactive and explosive when he recognizes pass to get in there and disrupt the play. I do think he needs to use his hands more as a pass rusher and take on half a man. He needs to continue to develop his edge skills because he plays around so much. And I think this is very similar to what Micah Parsons did at Penn State, where Penn State had him playing standing up a lot and had him playing outside linebacker rather than edge rusher. And then when you got in the NFL, it's like, hey, actually, Dallas said, please get your hand in the dirt and just rush the passer. Rush the passer. Wow. Can't get that one out. Passer. Rush the passer. And so I think we're going to see a similar thing here where they take his skill set and say, hey, why don't we hone this one? He needs to continue to develop that edge rushing skills. That is unless he's going up against Will Campbell. Nobody needs to develop that. It's free skates. All good. So I like him a lot. And 69 total tackles you see here on the graphic doesn't seem like a lot, but what that doesn't show is how much he's constantly disrupting the play and is just in there making it so either he or somebody else can make the play all the time.
Yeah, I feel like this guy is kind of just like one of those mad dogs that you let off the leash. I feel like I think the areas of improvement kind of indicate. Honestly, I've been watching both of these guys for a couple of years now, just because Oregon's always, kind of around them. I've always felt like, dude, if you gave Arvell Reese Downs, brain or his mind to be able to dissect the play, I'm like, oh,
That would be insane.
oh. And I think Caleb Downs is incredible, but we'll get to him later. But I do feel like this is one of those guys where it's like, look, if you've got a great coach who knows how to utilize someone like him. I mean, when I'd watch him, I wouldn't even realize that he's even a like the size he is. He almost plays a little smaller, at least to me. I feel like he's extremely quick, gets to where he wants to go, but I do think that the decision making is sometimes a little bit suspect. And I would hope, sometimes that doesn't translate in the NFL. Sometimes you just get a little lost in the sauce. But I would hope that wherever he goes, his coordinators know how to utilize him. Just like what we were talking about with the quarterbacks, it's most of the time the team fails them. I do hope that they get him the same way with Micah Parsons. Like, why don't we just have you rush? Just go in there and just get the tackle, get the sack. I hope that if they utilize him ideally to his strengths, I think he could be an absolute monster in the league.
I think so too. I think, like you mentioned, Avery, like with his rushing ability, and Will, you mentioned it too, like he's not a natural pass rusher. He doesn't have a lot of experience just being a pass rusher, and that might have to do with his lack of starting experience because he only started for 1 year at Ohio State. But what he is right now is he is an elite blitzer. When he blitzes and he is coming downhill to the quarterback, if there's anybody in his way, specifically running backs, he will blow them up to get to the quarterback. He does not let people get away from him when he is in pursuit. He doesn't lose to speed. He doesn't lose to power. He doesn't lose to size. He just wins when he's in pursuit of the ball carrier. He's a fantastic tackler. He had a 6% missed tackle rate this past season, which if you do the math, he only missed 4 tackles all season long. And that's because of how long he is. His arms are so long that it just allows him to wrap up ball carriers, and he does not let them get away from him. And probably my favorite thing about Arvell Reese is how strong of an anchor he has. He's able to just stand up offensive linemen who try to block him in the run game. He plants his feet, and instead of getting pushed back, he stands his ground, pushes up into the lineman, and then disengages to make the tackle. He uses his hands to overpower the offensive lineman and bullies them instead of letting them bully him. He uses his leverage very well. He gets up under their chest and pushes up to get them off balance. That was probably the number one thing that I was most impressed with Arvell Reese, is just his ability to just stop an offensive lineman in their tracks, push them up, and get off of them to make a tackle. What I think he needs to work on is his coverage ability, which is where the biggest thing he needs to improve, really. If you just let him go and pursue the ball carry and just let him loose, he can do anything you want. But if he needs to cover like a shifty running back or a shifty tight end, he does have a little bit of trouble with change of direction in that type of a situation. But again, I do think that comes from his lack of starting experience. And this comes from that as well. He also bites on play fakes, on play action type of stuff, and kind of takes him a little bit to diagnose the play sometimes and figure out where he needs to go. But when he figures out where he needs to go, his closing speed allows him to get there in a hurry. So overall, I think Arvell Reese has a ton of potential. He's the most physically gifted linebacker in this class. He's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got the speed. He is going to be a problem for offensive coordinators in the NFL. And the crazy part is he's only 20 years old and he's only been a starter for one season. This guy's going to be insane in the NFL.